Hi everyone, welcome to the Zero Fat Diet. Today I would like to talk with you about stevia. Now this is very interesting because it's something that I just learned recently, and I have a long history of using stevia for myself a bit and for my children. Well, anyways, what I've discovered is that stevia causes acne, and I will say that it can or may cause acne in other people. It absolutely causes acne in myself and my family. So I just wanted to give a little warning about stevia. So apparently, I will just give you a story. I hadn't used stevia in, so many years. Why? Because I preferred the artificial sweeteners instead. So instead, for many years, I was using Sweet and Low, which I really liked. And then I switched over to Splenda sucralose, and I really liked that. And that's what I'm currently using. And so I didn't really like stevia so much, and I don't know. So it had been years that I had used stevia. But just recently, I decided to give it a try. So I sweetened up my dairy with some stevia, or my chocolate with some stevia to see, what it would do. And I immediately, the very next day, or not, it hadn't even been a full day, I started developing chin acne. And I was like, what? And I never get acne. So I was like, this is not good. So after doing some research, I find out that stevia can cause acne in some individuals by disrupting the gut microbiome and triggering inflammation, leading to hormonal imbalances that increase sebum production. Now, it is saying that it acts as a steroid. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. So your body is reacting to it like a steroid. The components of it, the stevioglycosides, they have a similar molecular structure to natural steroid hormones. And that's why they have researched it as an endocrine disruptor. And it does. It's an endocrine disruptor. So in vitro, the studies have shown that steviol, the metabolite of stevioside, and riboside A, the sweet compounds in commercial stevia products, can interfere with hormone activity in specific ways. The progesterone effects. One notable finding is that in laboratory settings, stevia can increase progesterone production in human sperm cells and induce a response on a specific sperm receptor called CAT-SPR, which is sensitive to progesterone. Glucocorticoid receptors. Steviol and its glycosides have also been shown in some in vitro studies to potentially act as agonists for glucocorticoid receptors, which are involved in metabolism. So this is definitely not a good thing. And there's other people that are reporting the same thing, that it gives them acne. And let me just get to this. So here's a little conversation that someone says, over the past few months, I've been dealing with acne mainly on my cheek area. I believed it to be aspartame/sucralose as I was drinking diet soda at this time. I cut those drinks out and my acne did not improve. I've been trying to find something that doesn't have sucralose or aspartame in it, and I found Zevia and Simply Lemonade's light version. I've been drinking it for 3 days and my chin has broken out everywhere. I've never had bad chin acne before, so I was wondering if this has happened to anyone else. Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be the aspartame sucralose. That does not break me out either. It's definitely the stevia. So then someone else says, just want to confirm that stevia gave me the same cystic acne reaction. Have tried several times with different products containing stevia, and it always leads to a breakout along the jawline. Wish stevia wasn't in so many products. And then someone says, this happened to me too. This past month I was having soda sweetened with stevia every day and started to break out on my cheeks and just above my jawline. I never get acne there. I've read that stevia can have an effect on hormones, which could explain why I also had really intense different PMS symptoms. My mood was really low. I usually get 2 to 3 pimples, but this time I had 6 to 7 in that cheek, mouth, jaw area. My period was also a bit late. I cut stevia out completely about a week ago, and my skin has started to recover. Then someone else wrote, stevia causes severe acne in me, and I am 70 now. Steer clear of the stevia, and your skin will clear up. That is just crazy. Then here one person says, yep, tried stevia for 1 day. Next day had 3 deep cystic acne pop up on my chin, which I never get. Cut stevia out and they immediately start fading. Wow. And see, that's exactly what happened to me. It was on my chin. When I had the stevia, and the next day it was on the acne was forming on my chin, like so quickly. And I just cut it out, and then it was starting to go away. So same thing as these stories. So I do believe there's a lot of truth in that, and I think stevia is horrible. I would never recommend it to anybody. I don't think anyone should use that as a sweetener. If you want something sweet, I recommend you either go with real refined white cane sugar or an artificial sweetener such as Splenda or Sweet and Low or aspartame if you choose. But that's about it. I don't believe in and that's another thing is like, there's people that are like, what? White refined sugar? Oh my God. You're not even recommending sucanat or raw sugar or molasses or all those turbinado and all those ones that are like the more unrefined version of cane sugar. No, I advocate for white refined sugar if you're going to use sugar at all. Why? Because then you don't have all the potential of heavy metal contamination and anti-nutrients and impurities. White refined sugar has all its impurities refined out. And this is why you can feed white refined sugar to hummingbirds and it's not toxic. But you can't give them turbinado sugar or raw sugar or any of those other forms, sucanat and brown sugar. You can't give brown sugar or molasses. You will induce liver failure in the hummingbirds. It will damage their organs because it has too much iron, too many minerals in there. It'll really, they have delicate organs and they can't handle that. And it's filled with impurities. So that stuff's toxic. Molasses and brown sugar is very toxic to most insects, bugs, bees, and hummingbirds. Whereas you can feed all those critters refined white sugar and it's a nutrient for them and it gives them energy and it gives them the sucrose which they can use. They can use that as energy. It's very similar structure to flower nectar of what they drink. That's very low in minerals. It's very safe. It's like flower nectar. So refined cane sugar is like the best like safe, non-toxic sweetener, all in all. But if you choose to go sugar-free, as I am, because I'm doing more of a ketogenic diet, then, you can use like some kind of artificial sweetener. Don't go for that nasty stevia leaf when people advocate, oh, but it's natural, it comes from a leaf. Oh, that's exactly why I don't want it. Too natural, coming from a leaf. I don't want that. But yeah, all this herbal crap, it's all the same, all toxic. There's that weird mentality. I see it all the time. People advocating for all these toxic herbs, and they're just killing people left and right. Oh, but it's natural. Just take your turmeric, just take your ginger, you'll be good. Have your stevia leaf in your tea, you'll be fine. One time I bought some unrefined stevia leaf in that green powder, and I almost died. Oh my God. The smell of it was so toxic, and then when I tasted it, I almost threw up. I felt so nauseous. That stuff is the most toxic crap you could possibly put in your body. Turmeric is the same. I threw away our yellow mustard that had turmeric in it, and instead I got honey mustard and Dijon mustard that has no turmeric in it. Turmeric is highly toxic to the liver, and it's not trustable in any amount. I wouldn't trust it in any amount. In my pregnancies, when I was pregnant, the Indian spices I was repulsed by, and that's at a time when a lady is most sensitive to toxicity because that would affect the fetus. So intuitively, the body knows, and my body knew, stay far away from that crap. And I was able to tolerate things like salt, black pepper, maybe some paprika, something mild like that, but absolutely no Indian spices whatsoever. No coriander, no cumin, no curry powder, no cardamom, no, fenugreek, any of that bullshit, mustard seed, turmeric, ginger, all that. Ugh, that stuff's so highly toxic. So toxic. So it's so unfortunate that people think that that's healthy and that you can use that as medicine. Oh my gosh, so crazy. It's just, there's this horrible mentality. And years ago, some of you may remember this, there was a young girl on YouTube. She was like in her early 20s, I would say, maybe like 21 or 20. And she had breast cancer. And she went to the freaking Gerson treatment center for her cancer. And she begged for money online. It was a very expensive institute. And she went there and did some juices. She believed that drinking fruit juice was the answer. So she drank a bunch of fruit juice and, increased her cancer because cancer feeds on sugar. So she gave it the fuel it needed, and it overtook her and she passed away. That's like, great, This is what people think. They think, do these natural things, have some fruit and vegetable juice, and you'll be good. With some herbal stuff. I don't think it was at the place she went. It wasn't just fruit. It was like vegetable juices and maybe herbs and stuff. And all that didn't do a goddamn thing for her. She probably could have just had like some chemotherapy and maybe would still be alive today. But anyhow, back to the stevia topic. So I advise against stevia. And if you have any problems with acne and you're using stevia, cut it out right away. See if it clears up. See if that's the culprit, and let me know in the comments what your favorite sweetener is, and If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write down below. And you all have a nice day.